Hey friends, it's Lori. Welcome back to The Generous Pour, where we're saving smarter, spending intentionally, and pouring into the life we love. Today is a big one. Today is my 2026 binder reset, the system I'll be using for the whole year to keep my savings simple, peaceful, and actually fun. And if you're planning your binder setup for the new year, I hope this gives you ideas and a whole lot of calm. So just to set the tone, I'm officially consumer debt free, no more credit card balances. And let me tell you, stepping into the new year with no debt feels like a deep exhale I didn't know I needed. This new binder system reflects that. It's calmer, cleaner, and more intentional. No fluff, no overwhelm, just categories that make sense for this season of life. So let's get into it. I decided to sort of go through my binders and take out what wasn't working and bring in some things that I thought would help me in the new year. And as always, I'm going to be starting with my high priority binder. And this is my green binder. And this grown-up stuff is that keeps me running smoothly. It's all the stuff that, you know, you need to pay or life just gets kind of crazy. So this is keep calm stuff this. And let's get into our category. So month ahead, this little envelope is the engine for my whole month ahead binder. Every week I'll add a little bit, and once it gets chunky, I'll move it over and snowball it into a big A5 binder that I have. So let me grab my new, so this is the month ahead envelope in my binder that I will be stuffing every week. But what I've done this time, and this is new, is this is my new month ahead binder. And this is insurance and subscriptions, and this will be a tracker that I keep track of, and each icon is worth 10. And what I've done in here is I've put in the categories, and I've put this in order of least to more expensive so I can sort of snowball the payments every week. So I have health insurance, subscriptions, and car insurance in this category. Then I have a buffer of $1,200, and so that obviously is that. And then food and household. And in this category, in food and household, I have household item, bulk buys, and groceries. Transportation for the month, and transportation is gas. We have to buy a train ticket, parking, and our car payment. So I'll put that in there. And then our housing and utilities, which is our big one. And each house here is $45. And so our housing is electricity, septic, trash, propane, internet, and our mortgage payment, and oil. And so all of these will sit in here, and this is going to be a slow burner. You know, after paying off my consumer debt, I'm going to kind of focus on my month ahead and my emergency, and I kind of put this in here, although this is not a month ahead, but I wanted this to live in this binder as well. And so each icon is worth $125. And my goal is to have a $10,000 emergency fund, so that will sit in here. So that is this binder. And so what I will do is I've worked it out that I will be putting $300 per paycheck, and so $50 into each category, $50 into each category per month until this one fills. So once this one fills, I'll move that $50 and I'll move the $50 that goes into this envelope and the $50 that this one was supposed to have into this envelope, and it will snowball until all the categories are funded, fully funded. And let me grab this. So what I did this year is I took all of my sinking funds and I wrote down how much each one I wanted. So like health, here's my health. My goal amount is to keep that category at $1,000. And so for the year, that is stuffing at $77. We are a bi-weekly paid family, so that's stuffing at $77 per paycheck if I want that to be funded. So these are just sort of the categories that I have and how much the sinking fund, the goal amount, and how much each paycheck to fund that in a year. And obviously, you know, things will tweak during the year. But this is sort of my goal. These are my goals, because my goal this year is to have a fully funded 1 month ahead, and a fully funded emergency fund. So there's that. And then emergency fund will go in here, and I will actually move what is in here now that I have that binder. I will move the money that's in here into that category. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry about that. And then, but I will keep these trackers in here because I will stuff this money and then I will stuff the other ones. And it just helps me, instead of breaking out the big binder, it helps me look to see what I have set up in there. And so my emergency fund, nothing fancy, just consistency. I will stuff this every week, no matter what. And that's my promise to myself, every paycheck. So rainy day, for the life's annoyances that aren't emergencies, but definitely aren't free. Parking tickets, random school fees, broken headphones. This is sort of the things that aren't an emergency, but you still have to pay for. So I want to make sure that I'm funding a rainy day, and it just doesn't ever, I'm not leaning on an emergency fund for every single thing that goes, that I need. Home maintenance, I merged my home maintenance and my home improvement categories. I merged these two for clarity. Anything that keeps our house safe, clean, updated, and functional will go into here. Simplify. So, this is where I'll dip into this. And so I keep this tracker in here, and I keep this tracker in most of my envelopes. And so as I spend from it, as I reallocate, like I took out $5 from my home improvement category, and I just added it in here. So yard and garden, my happy place, flowers, pots, plants, and the things that calm my nervous system. These are things for outside that are, yard and garden, pretty self-explanatory. Health, for copays, prescriptions, and any surprise medical moments. I want to fund this at about $1,000, where there are 5 of us in the family. And I just want to make sure that I'm funding this so that we have, so that it is a category that we're not dipping into an emergency fund for health reasons. So house deposit, this is a new one. This is for either a vacation or, if our family wants to go somewhere, or we want to get a little condo or something somewhere. This is sort of a dream category, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to start putting the things that, dream categories, a slow growing dream fund. It's for future memories, future holidays, future get together time. So this will be when I can do it. And, just like paying off my credit card debt, every little bit counts, and one day I'll have enough in here and it'll be fantastic. Travel and trips, it is exactly that. It is weekend getaways, everything travel related. Our family, we are taking a trip in May, and I'm going to have to start beefing this up. So this is my travel and trips category. Wellness, for the things that refill my cup. Massages, self-care, movement, mental health. This all lives in this binder, or this envelope. Hobbies, for the creative things that bring me joy. I used to have, Etsy purchases, cash stuffing, different things. This is a hobby of mine, and I want to make sure that things that bring me joy and I like to do, I want to be able to fund this. So if this gets $5 a week, if it doesn't get $5 a week, it is a slow sort of category. I put this one in here from Cash But Cute. This is $10. So there's $10 in it currently. But I want to be able to fund things that bring me joy. And I like to keep my trackers so that when I'm doing my budget with me, and I'm trying to figure out what's in each envelope, that I don't have to pull everything out of every envelope just to make it simple. My trackers are up to date, and I can look in here and go, I have $10 in here. What else do I need to put in there? I have $225 in my travel and trips. What else do I need to put in there? It just makes things easier. So this is my giving category. Self-explanatory. It's intentional generosity, not forced, not stressful, just giving because it feels good. I have had to go through this. My son is running the Boston Marathon in April, and I've been giving to him. He has a donation page, and so we've been kind of depleting that for this, and then local food pantries and different things like that. But I wanted to make sure that my budget has a giving category. So there's $200 in here right now, and we will be using this for a giving tree that family that we kind of adopted for the holidays, and so this will come out of that. So And then 2 new categories, which is canceled it and marketplace sales. Canceled it is every time I cancel something, nails, housekeeping, cable, any subscription, the money comes here. And seeing the savings build is an accountability tool. So what I'm going to be doing every month is, in fact, I have it in here. So let's see where it is. Here's my canceled. This is my canceled save tracker. So we canceled cable this year, or this month, our house cleaners, and I have been doing my own nails. And so that is, cable was $160 a month. Our cleaners were $225, and my nails were $30 every time. So I'm going to be taking what I would have been spending in these categories and rolling that into my 1 month ahead. And so, and I will calculate this for the entire year. So this starts in December. I'm going to be starting everything in December because I'd like to do a sort of a new sweep, once a year in December. And so I can start the new year fresh and good and have my categories funded. So this is what this category is. And I'm super, super excited to kind of see where found money is. And then marketplace sales. Let me pull this out. Marketplace sales is a category that I'm going to start decluttering. And so every time I sell something on Marketplace or anywhere, list items, any unwinded items, the cash will come here. Donate, sell, declutter, repeat is sort of my mantra for the new year. I want things to be less. I want things to be decluttered. Decluttered house, decluttered mind. I'm looking forward to, that's sort of what my mantra is for next year, is less is definitely more. So I will track my savings here, but I will put this money that I get in here into either my emergency fund or my travel binder. So that is that. So that is going to do it for my high priority binder. And then my celebrations binder, which is honestly one of my favorite binders, because it celebrates moments, not things. So this is my celebrations binder. And cheers, important occasions, sinking funds. And so these are my envelopes. We have 3 boys, boy number 1, boy number 2, and boy number 3. I stuff these a little at a time all year, and then I give it to my boys at Thanksgiving. This was my first year doing it, and I loved sort of starting the giving season by giving my kids something that they weren't expecting, a sort of start to the giving season, a start to the new year. And so I will put in whatever I can afford in my monthly budget and kind of track it all year and see what I can save. I gave each of them $150 at Thanksgiving, so that's what I got there. Birthdays, it's for birthday celebrations and gifts. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'd like to keep $300 in here. Right now we have $100. My son, instead of having all these individual birthday categories, which was so overwhelming and a little bit confusing for me, I decided I was just going to have one birthday fund, and if I use a lot, if I don't use a lot, it all kind of lives in this category. So we do have a birthday coming up in January, my son's, so I'm going to probably be beefing this up pretty soon. Gifts is year-round gifting. Hostess gifts, thank you gifts, little moments, things that I need to pick up, but I needed funding for. So celebrate for milestones, wins, random happy things that deserve a little moment. I used to have anniversary in here, and now our anniversary sits in this fund, and so we have $55, so that you can see that I've pulled things out. I've added to it. I want to make sure I show up for celebratory times. Seasonal activities. We have officially moved into winter, and seasonal activities is my category where I'm funding time, not events. Winter fun, summer outings, fall traditions, whatever comes up, we are ready. You will see that my categories are a little more broad. My kids are, we have kids in college, and when they come home, I want to make sure that not like little kid activities are funded. I want to make sure that if someone wants to go do something like ice skating in the winter, or go do, hot chocolate in the city or something, that I have those activities funded, and I'm not sort of panic because I don't have a category for them, because my kids, again, are in a different stage of life than little kids or even teenagers. So that's that. Together, for dinners with my boys, spontaneous outings. Mom, can I come home this weekend? And I want to be ready for the pop-ins, dinners with friends, hosting things at my house. That is what this category is for. And this is a brand new category. This is new as well. Holiday next up and holiday on deck. I had about, I don't know, 10 holidays in here. And I decided instead of giving $5 to Valentine's Day, $5 to Memorial Day, all these things that I was going to do, funding the next holiday and funding the holiday that was coming up, and then it will roll down a hill if I don't use this. So like next holiday coming up outside of Thanksgiving and Christmas, which are my two big categories, the next holiday coming up is New Year's Eve. And so I have in here a tracker, and to be fully funded for New Year's Eve, my husband and I actually stay in, is $200 in case we do decide to go to a restaurant. And so that will move out of here when New Year's Eve is done, and Valentine's Day, which is the next holiday I have in here, will move to this envelope. And then I don't know if it'll be Easter, may come into this envelope. So that's what I decided to do to kind of lessen my load. Thanksgiving, actually Thanksgiving should be after Christmas now, since we just finished Thanksgiving. So this Thanksgiving is, we have $75 in that category, sitting in my high yield savings account, and Christmas. So Christmas, here is a tracker that I'm keeping track of how much Christmas money I have. I'll probably start playing games and stuff. We are fully funded for this year, but I will probably start playing games in my Christmas binder around July-ish. But right now I'll just be putting a little bit of money at a time, and so that I can fund this. So I will keep track of it on this tracker. But this is my Christmas binder. And so how I budget my Christmas binder, let's pull this one off to the side, is these are my categories. I have Christmas Eve, which is fully funded for $250, food and drink, festivities, decor. I gave myself $50 this year. We have a lot of decor, but I do like to pick up some things occasionally. And then Christmas giving, and then Christmas gifts. And what I have in here is every time I spend out of my Christmas gifts, I just erase this off and I put the new amount in. And what I did this year is I funded my categories in here. And I gave myself, I think, $100 every paycheck, or $200 every paycheck. And I played these games. And once I funded these, or once these games were completed, I moved them into the sinking fund that they needed to be in. And I kept it all on a tracker. So this is my Christmas tracker. I have $2,590 in our Christmas fund. And whatever we don't use, we'll move on to next Christmas. So this is the first year that we've been in this good of shape for Christmas. And then that is it for this binder. So St. Patrick's Day actually looks like is going to be our next holiday. So I just keep the one that goes in next for my holidays ready to go in. So that is going to be that one. And that is it for these binders. Now what I want to show you is my games binders. I've kind of done a little bit of tweaking, and my leftover games binder, this is the binder that I play with my leftover weekly spending money, my variables. And so these are my savings challenges. And these are my monthly totals, so I'll keep this as it is. And so this is sort of what I do at the end of each month, is I go through all of my binders and I write down what I've saved and what I have in each of these binders. I was aggressively paying off debt, and so these numbers haven't really gone up. And I started buying some Christmas gifts, and Thanksgiving came. And so your binders shouldn't be blowing up. You know, you are putting that money away so that you can spend it. And so don't feel guilty about if your categories kind of stay either you know, lower or they get higher, because that's what these sinking funds are for. So the weekly spinner, I play with my weekly spending money, or my grocery money. And so what I'll do is I spin a little weekly spinner, and I put down what I'm going to do, and then I go and play the games in this. This is my Budget with Ira primary challenge, and this is with my personal money. And then these are my games that I'll play. So whatever is left over in my wallet for the week, I put into these games, and I play these games with it. So the candy stand, pay it forward, Pretty Girls Can Do Math, Suck at 6, which is a new one from Luna Lolly, love it. Centered Circle, Rainbow Roller Races, this is going to be an interesting game. And then this is my catch-all, 50 please. So this is going to be my catch-all. And what I like to do when I'm finished with my this binder and my seasonal binder is everything that's left over goes into this completed, and at the end of the month I go through my categories, my sinking fund categories, and whatever my priorities are that month, I write my categories here, and then I roll the dice and I divide that money up and it gets distributed into my sinking funds. It is an extra little boost every month. Sometimes it's not a lot, sometimes it is. It keeps me motivated on weeks when progress feels slow. And you know, right now I am rotating between some big goals: emergency fund, travel, and 1 month ahead. So that's what these categories are going to go towards. This is my new winter setup. So this is my winter binder. I just moved into this, and it used to be my fall challenges. So here's my winter, and this is going to be my challenge checklist. I haven't kind of gone through that yet. This is my seasonal, my 2026, and then these are the games that I'm going to play. My winter challenges: Risk the Six, the matching game, Knockout Noel, winter, roll and match seasonal edition, which I love. This is going to be the snowflakes I'm going to be doing. Winter is coming. This is going to be a trail to Christmas, this or that, and this is my catch-all. And then I do a couple of minis. So this is fun because I like to. This year I'm gonna focus on some of these free Etsy, or not Etsy, Ko-Fi channels of all these really wonderful creators that you can download free savings challenges from. And so these are 6 savings challenges from some of my favorite creators on YouTube. So I will play a quick game of minis with these, and I just want to make sure, you know, each season has its own challenges and games that boost my sinking funds. And when the season ends, you know, or the month ends, I roll that over. It just keeps things fresh and keeps things fun. You know, you can load all of your money into a savings account and then be done with it, or you can have a little fun doing it. It's like going to a casino where you win. You're the winner. You're the winner every single time. So this binder right here, this is my 2026 binder. It's my new era binder. This holds all of my 2026 challenges and games that hit my big yearly goals. It is going to be this. I've had so much fun doing this one. So this is my 2026 binder. I will continue doing this for My Money Matters. Each week I will do one of these, and it'll go into here. And again, this binder, this used to be my old debt binder, and this crushed all my credit card debt, and it has a special place in my heart. But now it is new and improved because I am in the era of of giving back to myself now. Now that my consumer debt is gone. So this is my monthly tracker. This is studio budgets. I am going to be working on some weight loss goals in the future, and so I will be tracking how much I lost. I will not put out there you know, the beginning or the starting, but I will track how much I've lost and save that amount because I think that's motivating and fun. And then I have in here all the different challenges that I will be playing in this binder. And this will be, I don't know what day I'm going to be playing this game. It used to be on Sundays, which was my debt day, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. And then my completed goes in here, and I will sweep it out. This is slow and steady and powerful. These are my anchors this year. And that is that one. And then I have a few, and here are a couple other ones which I will play. This is all going to my vacation fund, and I'm playing minis. And these are 8 little minis that I will play, and they will feed into vacation. I will play $50 every week, and each one of these, it'll be a quick game of fun little minis from different creators. And I'm excited about this. This will be on my seasonal day. So on this day and my winter day, I will play these 2. And then, last but not least, this is my dopamine challenge. I created this, and I'm pretty pumped about it. This is 50 envelopes, and one roll, one envelope, a little win every single week, perfect for the slow seasons. So what I do with this one is, this is a 50 envelope challenge. So I got a 50 sided die, and every week I will roll this, and I put this 50 envelope challenge in from Bethany Budgets, and every week I will roll this. Like this just landed on 49, and then 49 will go in here. The next week, 15, and I made these two-sided. So 1, 2, and so forth until you get to 50. And so every week I'll do whatever I roll into this side, and then whatever I roll into this side. And then I will go through, and it is 50 weeks of random rolling, random savings. I tried to do the 50 envelope savings challenge, and it just didn't work for me. So I kind of came up with this one. It's random, it's, you know, different kind of savings, but I needed that for my brain. And so this is really, really fun. It's perfect for the kind of gaming that my brain needs. And, you know, one week will, you know, maybe this 41, instead of putting just 41 and 42 and 43, that these weeks will get whatever I roll. And I just thought it's just a fun way to save a little extra. And this will go into my emergency fund. And so I'm pretty excited about that. So that is it. That is, oh, and my Overflow binder, which I have not changed at all. This is money that I have to still spend this week. And then this is my week number 2, which I'm going to be transferring into my wallet at the end of this week. So these are my variable categories. And so what I like to do is, this is my groceries, spending, home, out and about, Pearl is our dog, generosity, buffer, and then this is what I do every week when I unstuff my wallet. This is my back to the bank deposit. And then we are a bi-weekly paid family, so my week number 1 goes into my envelopes, and my week number 2 goes in here, because I don't like to commingle my my categories or my weeks, because I like to look into my wallet, and I like to know that that's for this week and that's for next week. So that is it. These are my anchors. Slow and steady, but super powerful. If you're resetting your binders for 2026, my biggest reminder is this: don't make categories you can't maintain. Pick what matters in your season and give yourself permission to start small, and take what other people are doing. Look and see what's working for them and what's not, and tweak it towards your budget. This is your budget, not anybody else's. So if you found something useful in here, I hope you stick with me and like and subscribe. And I am super, super excited to roll into this new year with a new system. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today while I shared my 2026 binder reset. If you like this video, please subscribe. And until next time, keep saving smarter, spending intentionally, and pouring into the life you love. Have a great rest of your week.